And we're live. Hi everyone, this is MH Gamer, and the 5 Vox Populi continue elite third playthrough playing as Catherine of Russia. And after some thought, I've decided that I'm not going to waste time because I don't think a victory is possible for a couple of reasons. First, either my game is a bad install or something's up, but the fact that at least to my knowledge, there's only been one war between the AIs that I know of. All the other wars have been between me and AI. And the reason why, so the issue is because of the lack of war, there are a couple of powerful contenders. And what that means is even if I beat Poland, I think if the war drags on long enough, I could eventually beat Poland. But it would be, I mean, you've seen my war with Arabia. That wouldn't be close to being as bad as fighting against Poland. So the war against Poland would be an absolute nightmare. And actually, I want to check the map because I want to find out. But see, the main issue here is, well, the main problem is the fact that Poland is the biggest threat, but they're not the only threat. And as I said, if I were to win, if I dedicate all of my resources fighting Poland, I think I can win. The only issue here is the fact that if I defeat Poland, it will be very late in the game. There will probably be helicopter gunships. There will probably be modern armor. And the issue with that is the fact that I'm not having. I must have deleted it. Rip. I wanted to look at the map, but apparently I can't delete it. The mod that allows you to edit maps and stuff. But like I said, defeating, so there's Siam and there's Inca. Now Brazil, Germany, they're not really threats. I could deal with them pretty quickly after beating Poland, because at that point I will have a lot of very experienced units. And the plan was to go autocracy, and with that my units will get more experience, and with the extra experience my units should absolutely devastate the enemy. So I basically played a bit into the game, but I decided not to show it because first it has no commentary, and second I decided not to keep going. So the problem I realized, so if you look at Celts, Brazil, and Germany, they're not that much more ahead in tech against me, so they wouldn't be a huge problem. I neutered Arabia, but that war took way too long. And what that ended up doing is it allowed these three powers to rise up. But the Incans, 66 technology, Poland 67, Siam 64. If you look at how long my war against Arabia was, then you can only imagine how difficult, because they have special forces. They are in the information era. So not only am I fighting a war to stop Poland before he wins, but he will also have access to rocket artillery, helicopter gunship, mechanized infantry, and eventually modern armor. He already has bazookas, so tanks aren't going to be very effective. And if I play very well, let's say I play perfectly and beat Poland, the problem lies in the fact that will give the Incans enough time. Incans have one less tech than Poland. If Poland's defeated, how am I going to stop the Incans? I don't even have the map properly explored, so I mean, from my impression, it seems like they're connected somehow. Yeah, there's probably some way to reach it. Maybe, actually, maybe there is some water, but Incans are doing very well. They have 9 cities. Four, wait, in order. 1, 2. That's only 3. They haven't even got their level 3 tenant, the free technology. And to make matters worse, I mean, there's also Siam, who doing well in. I mean, the only blessing is Siam went order. But Siam is also. Oh, Siam's happiness is not that good. Wait. I'm surprised the Incan is doing not that good. Is there a chance of collapse? I don't think so. This is Immortal difficulty. The AI will find ways to recover. I just don't see them collapsing. The only way they could collapse is if there are wars, and for whatever reason, there are so few wars between the AIs that I can't count on that. Now, if the Incan and Siam fight each other, which is even less likely since they both went order, then chances are the Incans will recover, and after a long, gruesome war, and assuming I play everything properly, then there might be a chance of me defeating Poland, but at that point, the Incans will be so far ahead. I mean, 66. I don't know how many technology there are, but there aren't that many more technologies, and the rate at which I'm researching is very slow. I don't know what I did wrong, but the AI just seems to have massive bonuses. So overall, I just don't see how, with my ability, I'm able to win. Now, of course, I hope to. Now, the thing is, like, for example, for the Golden Age, I can't maintain it indefinitely. I don't have any coal. And I'm worried that if I war enough, because Poland actually managed to cancel his sanction. So that's a problem in itself. So if I take a couple cities, I'm also worried about. The part of the problem is I can't invest everything in war against. Otherwise, I would. The ideally what should have happened is I would have eliminated Arabia for good, or at least kicked them off of this continent, or at least from this part of the continent. Defeat the Celts. I mean, the Celts only have 2 cities. They never expanded. I don't know where the other civs find their other cities, but that's ridiculous. So, ideally, at this point, I would have these 3 cities under my control. I didn't screw up with religion and actually get my Reformation. That would have been ideal. And then, like, the main problem is there are 3 leaders, and I can't deal with all of them. And even one of them is gonna be a handful. Like, Poland alone is going to keep me preoccupied for who knows how long. And it's only gonna get worse once you get modern armor and all of that, because he's definitely teching a lot faster than me. So overall, yeah, he has 9 cities, so he's able to replace his units very quickly. Overall, there are lots of areas I misplayed. Of course, I probably installed the mods improperly. That's why I had these issues. Apparently, everyone else they had AIs declaring wars just fine. The AIs are just timid in attacking and taking cities. So I am going to wait for the next patch, at least the next patch, before I try anything else. But let's use, like, I don't want this to be a 10-minute video, so let's talk about Russia. So Russia, unique ability, the 20 science, it's really an early game bonus, right? It helps you keep up, and by keeping up, you're able to do interesting things. Now, this game really made me feel like experience why people don't like standard, because it's very quick. Like before I know it, the AI is already at information era. And I mean, to be fair, slower speeds benefit humans more, so maybe I just need to get good. All strategic resources provide double quantity. That's if you have resources. Like, I don't have any coal, that's pretty useless. But if I had resources, the double is also very good. Later on, it provides you with the resources, even if normally you would be short on. Double is a lot, right? Let's say if you only have 8 iron available to you, with Russia you get 16. That helps you have a lot more options available, right? As opposed to, oh, how am I gonna use 8 iron? Do I use it for naval range units, or do I get field guns and or cannons? Okay, field guns. Of course, with 16 iron, you don't have to worry as much. So that is very nice. Russia is definitely geared for expansion strategy. So you want to cover as much ground as possible, decrease your odds of getting strategic resources. And in this game, I feel tradition just doesn't work well with Russia. So that was probably my first big mistake. I probably should have went for progress. Yeah, I'll have 4 cities, but those will be 4 decent cities, and maybe that could have gotten me more further ahead. So one is a bit more situational but makes your life easier. The other is an early game bonus, and if you could use that to conquer early game, it could be huge. Kozak, I wasn't able to really use them, but if the community decides to give mountain range units 5 movements, they would be hell to deal with. And I think that's why it was such a nightmare when I had to fight Arabia, because their camel archers have 5 movements. It's really broken, so I hope they don't implement that, because 5 movements is way too much in my opinion. But I could see, like, for example, with Withering Fire, because what happens is the AI tends to have a lot of units. Now, if you are able to position in a way where they can't withdraw, they're gonna take a lot of damage. And if you have the proper roads to take advantage of that, very good. Now, the Licorn, I don't know how you pronounce it, very solid. The ability to move after firing is the reason I beat Arabia. Because normally what would happen if I was attacking Mecca is, even if I get +3 range, after attacking, I can only get one of them to attack the city. And then it's vulnerable and could be hit by enemy units. But because I could move after attacking, I could rotate through them and take cities much faster. it's a really amazing, and it's a shame that artillery loses that ability because I feel that would be, of course, that would. I mean, to be fair, I mean certain units like the Chonu for China keep logistics, so I mean I don't feel it's like extremely broken. I mean, you still have to think about your moves. I guess it depends on people how they think. Now, Ostrog, you haven't really seen it because I'm trying to do offensive wars. Now, if in the future I get any defensive wars, this will actually be pretty amazing because the AI, like an obvious example is the minefield. I build minefield in Mecha, the AI won't know how to take Mecha. They, the extra movement they have to use up, they just get crippled by it. If you think that's bad, where the ocean is more wide open, think about these terrains with all the hills and desert and whatever, and suddenly you have an absolutely nightmarish situation. Because, for example, let's say this tank, right? It moves on this hill of mine. Not only does it use up 2 movements for moving up there, it loses another movement due to dust drog. Now it only has 2 movements, right? So if it pillage, it could back out, but it will still remain in range of all of my artillery, and that would be an absolute nightmare for them. And really, for this, I could use similar situ. Actually, I can't use. See, if they kept their ability to move after attacking, I could do the rotation. I kind of wish they keep it because it's late enough that artillery doesn't always see a ton of experience. So if you can keep it, rotate, yeah, you could take cities a lot sooner, but that would give Russia a nice late game because right now Ostrog is pretty nice. Pogo's pretty awful. First, it doesn't have. So if you look at the building and replaces custom house, it has -1 on happiness from poverty. This doesn't. Not level 1, not level 2, and not level 3. I mean, the extra faith, see, that's the other thing. I hate that to unlock it. I mean, it's a really nice concept, but look at it. To get level 3, you have to get guilds, then you have to get banking, and then you have to go architecture. You have to go this way. Look at where your other unique unit is. Like one. Metallurgy. Down here. So it's absolutely horrible. Like you have to pick one or the other. And it's so far apart that it's really hard to take advantage of. I'm not a fan of it, but maybe it's fair. Who knows? So overall, other than the Poghost unique building, everything else is solid. I haven't really been able to show Kozak, but I mean, if they get 5 movements, I could see them being very powerful. Otherwise, they're quite situational. Defending, they'll be a nightmare, right? The enemy send their units. You position your units well so that they can withdraw. They are going to get wrecked. So this is the end of this video and end of this series. I hope you enjoyed it. I try my best to showcase, but yeah, don't go tradition. While tradition does have sovereignty, overall I feel progress is just a better option because you get culture when you research technology. And early game, that extra bit of culture is going to make a big difference when you think about it because you're going to tech up faster, you're going to get policy faster, and that just helps you snowball faster overall. So yeah, I definitely misplayed a lot of areas. I hope to, I mean, it's just part of my journey of learning how to play on Immortal. So far, I've only have one game where I more or less won. I mean, I didn't play to the end, but it's pretty decisive. At least I think it's pretty decisive, and that's It's in the Learning Immortal series. I was playing as Arabia. Arabia is just so easy to play and win. Russia requires a bit more work, and I did a horrible job, and plus AI diplomacy is broken. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you everyone for watching. What is the next? Man, I will have to wait for the next. After Catherine, Poland. Got it. Poland. Sorry. Persia. No, I was looking at Casimir, and I've been fighting Poland. So yeah. Persia. Okay, that's gonna be interesting. Anyways, this is the end of this video. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you have a good one.